Welcome back to Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. If you guys got that reference, please tweet me. It was from a major movie. So, there's somebody upstairs. Marvin is his name.
What the fuck was that?
That was my fiance laughing because I said, "Hey, all you Wahoo maniacs." Anyways, it was from a famous movie. If you...
Obviously not that famous.
No, it's famous, I promise you. You don't know what good movies are anyways. This guy watches like crappy, girly notebook movie type shit. Anyways, if you know that movie, please give me a retweet. I'll give you a Ryan Blaney NASCAR diecast.
Fuck you.
Or maybe a third of left, blah, blah. Anyway, retweet me with that. With the name of the movie from, with that quote. And we'll see what happens. Anyways... How y'all doing? Good to see y'all again. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, K-Dog. That's Cody. Me. That's my guest as usual. Host of Takin the Bump Podcast, James Beatley. I have no glasses on this week. I'm going into this episode very blind. I have a pair of glasses. They look really weird on me because I got a new pair and my other ones have to get new lenses in them. So, yeah. And if you find the annoying chewing sound, that'd be him. I'm trying not to chew, but, you know, annoying ass over here. That's why I love him. Next week, BtheC's going to be my guest. And me and her are going to talk wrestling. Anyways, we had a show called Dynamite on tonight on TNT.
We did?
We did. And it was the go-home show for Fyter Fest, which is a 2-week event starting next week, July the 1st, and ending July the 8th. Action-packed 2 nights. We're going to do a Fyter Fest preview and prediction show sometime within the next week before, of course, Fyter Fest happens. And, of course, you will catch us every Thursday on these Dynamite recaps, but also we're going to do Night 1 recap next week following, same as usual, and then Night 2, of course, the week after. Anyway, AEW Dynamite, the go-home show for Fyter Fest. This was a very nice show. A very good show, may I add.
Really?
We start off tonight with a lumberjack match between Luchasaurus and Wardlow in an interesting lumberjack match. This may have been the first lumberjack match that the lumberjacks really could not throw the competitors back in the ring. Because they both were really big bitches. Yeah. So,
I think...
kind of hard to do that. A lot of flips happened in this match from either Lumberjacks, Luchasaurus, or Wardlow. Wardlow surprised me with doing a Hurricane Rana in this match. And Luchasaurus about decapitated himself by doing a shooting star press from the top of the stage down below to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Action-packed way to start off the show. Wardlow got the win, though, over Luchasaurus in the Lumberjack match. And then the Lumberjacks try to come in and separate between Wardlow and Luchasaurus. And then Jungle Boy and MJF kind of do their own thing. A nice brawl to start the after the match to set up Dynamite tonight.
Yes, sir.
What did you think of this opening segment?
It was a good match. Luchasaurus, you knew he's pretty acrobatic for his size. And Wardlow showed me a little bit more of what he can do instead of being a suit and tie mouthpiece for MJF. So I actually was impressed. Shout out to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com. He called the 2 people in this match good. He said it was some good sirloin beef son of bitches battling.
He might want to be careful because Jim Ross is going to be trying to steal that one.
Tougher than a $2 steak.
We're hearing that at least once every week now. JR, you got to calm down with that, bro. We understand that that's a trademark of you. I don't need to hear it every week.
I do.
I don't.
But no, it was a good match. Great way to open the show. The only negative I would have on this was it made no sense for it to be a lumberjack match because the lumberjacks literally did nothing to enhance the match. Like they couldn't
throw back in.
Yeah, they couldn't do anything. So
if anything, they were there to catch the falls.
Yeah.
That everybody was doing with Luchasaurus and then Wardlow being thrown off and then Marco Stunt being launched 55,000 feet in the air The Lumberjacks had to catch them, but besides that, I mean, they literally served no purpose in this match.
Right, and I don't know if that might be the one critique I have of AEW overall is they kind of do gimmick matches for the sake of doing a gimmick match. And it really doesn't serve a point and didn't enhance the match at all. It was still a good match, I don't get me wrong, but you could have taken away the Lumberjacks and it would have been the same match that it was already. So,
pretty much, yeah.
But overall, a good match. This sets up a match at Fyter Fest. Wardlow and MJF against, is it Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe that's what the match is. Night 2, I believe, is when
Right.
that's taking place. And we'll kind of briefly talk about Fyter Fest. Not too much in depth. Maybe just say what the match will be or matches. And then, like I said, we'll do a preview show sometime the next week.
Right.
Next up, we had the women's champion, Hikaru Shida, facing off against Red Velvet.
Can you say facing off?
Demolishing in 15 or so seconds Red Velvet. She became a Red Velvet cake by getting her ass kicked. Eaten up and demolished and thrown out again. Penelope Ford is getting a title shot for the Women's World Championship at Fyter Fest. I believe that's night 2.
Night 1.
Excuse me, night 1. There's a lot of stuff. I don't remember every single match on each night.
This was the first Dynamite. I think he didn't write any notes down.
I freelanced this one. Thank God I tweeted the things, because if I didn't, I'd be so lost right now.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having this podcast.
We wouldn't be. We'd be doing it the next day, which is Thursday. Anyways, Shida and Ford kind of stared down with each other. Penelope was trying to go after Shida. Shida kind of got away. It pissed her off. My fiance was mentioning how whenever Shida puts her hair down, she goes into ass-kicking mode. Mm-hmm. Her hair was already down before this thing even started.
Yeah, she didn't take off basically any of her
She came out ready to whoop some ass.
Yeah.
And she did. Demolished Red Velvet, went back outside and said, Penelope Fallhead, I ain't done with your ass. And absolutely tore.
They stiffed some of the enhancement talent a couple times. And I don't know if that was Ricky Starks. It kind of looked like him.
Yeah, I think it was Ricky Starks. He got his eye poked out.
He got stiffed 3 times.
He did.
But that's the cool thing I think about the Japanese style. Is you see the same thing with Kota Ibushi, where he could come out and play a babyface character, and then mid-match just change to total heel tactic. And that's kind of what Shida was playing there with. She's supposed to be the babyface character, therefore, where I don't know if AEW really uses heel face that dynamic.
Sometimes, yeah, but not consistently, I would say.
Right. But she kind of she can turn it to another level and expand the rule book a little bit when needed. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good segment. It actually got me hyped up for a Women's World Championship match, which
we need to find. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we need to find the broken lens of Kip Sabian's glasses. By the way,
glasses got destroyed on this episode.
Luchasaurus needs his tail, and
Kip Sabian
needs his glasses.
Orange Cassidy got his glasses broke, but he can find a new pair. But we're going to still get him a new pair. Anyways, this is a fun segment. I enjoyed it. I really am now looking forward to Penelope Ford and Shida, just because I know that they don't like each other. They're gonna beat the hell out of each other for that title. The storyline has some personal conflicts in it, and it actually brings out the best.
Yeah. And
when we get that personal connection, and they're just fighting and fighting and fighting. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a good match at Fyter Fest. So we'll see what happens there. We go to the press conference between Cody and Jake Hager to set up their TNT Championship match at Fyter Fest Night 1.
Yeah.
I believe it's Night 1. And when we do the preview show next week, we will have actually the matches for each night. We'll get to that. Cody was the only one there at the moment. He was with Arn, his coach. Brandy was there. Little Ruth. I don't know if that was the chick that was there or the guy behind him holding the belt.
I think that's what he named the belt.
Might have been that. Allie was there in place for QT, who, along with him and John Moxley, got sent home for fear of catching COVID or coming in contact with someone that had COVID. And Dustin was there.
And then that weirdo on the end that nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but they were there as well. Maybe I don't know. A couple reporters from a couple different wrestling news outlets were asking a couple questions. Cody was answering them. Arn answered one. Cody answered one. Was getting a little bit emotional with that. And then Hager finally showed up. They did a little pose down, in which at the very end, the last pose saw Hager putting his fist like that.
Touch me and I kill you.
I didn't touch you, thank God. I get fleas. And just kidding. I love you. I love you so much.
Bitch.
Anyways, Hager did that to Cody. Cody didn't like that too much. And pissed him off. Hager's wife, who I thought kicked him out of the house at the Revolution when Hager...
He got a title shot, so she took him back.
Wow. He beat Dustin, right? At Revolution?
Yes.
He lost his... Anyways, I had a little bit of a glitch there, so we had to stop recording, and now we're back. Anyways, continuing where we left off, Hager lost something. Oh, he lost the world title match to Moxley, right?
Yeah.
His wife was like, yeah, you can't go back in the house, but she showed up to the press conference.
And splashed some water on it.
And splashed some water in Cody's face, and then they left, and yeah, so...
Brandy didn't do anything.
No, not really.
What a supportive wife Brandy is, right? At
least it wasn't the typical press conference cliche we're used to seeing, where there's a big brawl, whatever. Somebody goes to the table.
Right. I think that was cool. One thing I would note is Arn Anderson. You talk way too much.
Setting up a story.
Okay, but that right there is exactly what he sounds like on his fucking podcast with Conrad Thompson. And it puts you to sleep when he describes a situation for 30 minutes straight.
Listen, it's Arn Anderson. Leave the man alone. That was his gimmick. I mean, that was his thing, was talking. That's all he can do. He's like you. He's long-witted. He can talk for hours.
True.
You and Arn Anderson put together would be an 18-hour-long podcast, and you would get through halfway without realizing, holy shit, we've gone 18 hours. We don't know what we're talking about anymore. But anyways, then we get to Colt Cabana versus Mr. Brody Lee versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. What a weird-ass tag team that is. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Weird.
I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
It's just weird. It just doesn't make sense to me why they're together. Anyways.
They're two outliers in the division that need to do something. And so they put them together.
All right.
I kind of like the dynamic.
It's dynamic, all right.
Dynamite.
That's what you did there.
Yeah.
That was good. He's got jokes. So, yeah. It was an interesting match. I haven't seen Sonny wrestle too much, but he definitely showed me something here tonight.
Showed you that split.
Yeah, he showed me. Things a man typically can't do. In the end, of course, Colt Cabana and Brody Lee win. Brody had done basically his finishing moves and was going to pin him, but he allowed Colt, who I believe was a legal man anyways, to get the win. Colt experienced what a win feels like again. That's what the Dark Order is supposed to represent, that you go from a losing environment to a winning one. So that was interesting to see. And after that, Lance Hoyt comes out and annihilates Sonny Kiss and Janelle, I believe.
Yes. Setting up a Fyter Fest match.
With?
Did you call him Lance Hoyt?
I did, because his Twitter handle is Lance Hoyt. Lance Archer, excuse me.
Lance Archer.
This is what happens when you were tweeting things and you go by their Twitter handles and you don't...
The Twitter handles?
The Twitter handles and you don't remember their...
Yeah, it's Lance
names.
Archer.
I realize that now.
He's fighting Joey Janela.
That's what I thought it was.
At Fyter Fest. Which would be a good match.
It's a weird match because it's only got a week worth of build-up. It's a filler match.
It's a filler match.
But whatever.
It's a Joey Janela's about to die match. We're
building up our Archer again, guys.
Yeah. going back to Sonny Kiss real quick. I believe you said he showed you something that men aren't supposed to do. That split.
Typically can't do.
Typically can't. Well, Patrick Mahomes can do some stuff that men typically can't do either. So, I mean, touche.
What exactly are you referring to?
I can't throw a football 70 yards.
That's what I thought you were going with. I'm like, I mean, obviously, I can't run and throw a football for more than 14 yards. So, yeah. Anyways, but yeah. Get to the next match. We've got SCU members Christopher Daniels, Frankie, Scott Stapp lookalike Kazarian,
Creed member.
What almost right over against FTR, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler. God, I'm sorry.
Fist bump. There you go. Damn it.
I thought they do other things too. They do that, the little thing with the elbows, and they hug.
Yes.
We're not going to go that far. Fist bump is fine. I'm telling you. I put on Twitter. Look at Frankie Kazarian now with his short hair. Look at Scott Stapp in 2010. Tell me that's not a resemblance. That's not a bash, and that's not a derogatory thing. I love Scott Stapp. I love Creed.
They look alike.
And I like Frankie Kazarian, but man, they look way too much alike. Anyways. I really enjoyed this match, but I'm telling you, if you can get me a Scorpio Sky and a Frankie Kazarian versus FTR on a pay-per-view, I'd pay just to watch that match. That would be a fantastic match. And in the end, we got FTR did get the win over SCU. AEW, after the match, we get our boys back. My boys came back.
Did they?
Phoenix, Pentagon Junior, or Pentagon L, or M, depending on how you want to look at it. Lucha Brothers came back, finally, and beat down FTR after Butcher and the Blade basically hijacked FTR's truck.
They stole the truck.
And now it sets up an 8-man tag at Fyter Fest. Butcher and Blade and the Lucha Brothers versus FTR and
the Bucks,
Young Bucks
of Youth. You know what this is going to set up?
It's going to set up a tag team match at All Out.
It's going to set up All Out.
And that's perfect. Let me wait.
Perfect.
Build that shit up for 2 months. Let me wait.
Yes.
Or a month. A month and a half. But anyways, AEW's tag team division, I'm going to say on record right now, June 24th, as of this recording, 2020, AEW has got the best tag team division in the history of pro wrestling and will have the best tag team division in the history of pro wrestling.
In the words of Ortiz, we the best.
The best.
The best. The best.
There are way too many tag teams that I can name at this moment. I mean, FTR, Butcher and the Blade, Young Bucks, Lucha Brothers.
They can run a New Japan Cup
with just tag teams.
With tag teams.
In this company.
And have extra tag teams.
It is insane, the level of talent in this company for tag team division. Tag team wrestling has literally been revived from AEW. And it's a great sight to see.
And it also means that their singles division is super deep as well.
I agree.
Because the tag teams that may not be necessarily used
can be
split up to run singles, which means you have a plethora of talent. You didn't think I knew that word.
A plethora is a very good word.
A plethora of talent in AEW for the future. So if this COVID thing goes jack shit crazy again, they got a plethora
of talent.
Either way. That's going to be my next t-shirt.
Plethora of talent?
Yes. A plethora of talent.
Yeah, this is going to be they should do a tag team tournament again with like 16 teams, which I think they have about 16 teams, and just have at it. Brian Cage comes out. He has a squash match against John Cruz.
A.K.A. Serpentico.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if he was Serpentico, if he was John Cruz. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah, he died.
After the match, Taz cuts another promo on Moxley, and Taz is the master of these things, man. He single-handedly can build up a feud no matter what, and they kind of use Moxley's absence in this promo, which I thought was great. It was fun.
It builds that damn storyline, dude.
Yes, it does.
That's the thing that I love about AEW is, so like I feel like if this was a WWE promo, like you would have had Michael Cole talking about Moxley having COVID, but that's it. That's all they would have said. They wouldn't have used it in the storyline. They kind of would have just written Moxley off a TV for a week or two, like they did with Roman Reigns, where Triple H was gonna, when he said, "Oh yeah, Roman Reigns will be written off and it'll be spectacular," and then they didn't say fucking shit about it. They just put Braun Strowman in the title match.
Yeah, and how did that work out? I mean,
Kind of
he's
good.
champion now, but Moxley being sent home due to possibly contacting somebody with COVID definitely opened the door for Taz to cut a great promo. The match build up for this is good. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's going to be a very good match. More of a fight at Fyter Fest.
It's going to be a brawl.
Fyter Fest, an original name. Not a fucking use up name again. Like another promotion. I don't care if you own the damn name. You ain't got to use it every time. We've gone through War Games, Starrcade, and now we got the Great American Bash. Again, really? We couldn't, it didn't run its course from 04 to 08 or whatever it did. Really? Y'all using your old WCW names, it pisses me off.
They gotta get ratings.
That's all it is. You're using an old name just to hope that some nostalgic will be brought back. It's ridiculous. NXT doesn't deserve the Great American Bash thing. And we're not even long enough around to be considered. If WWE used it, I don't care, whatever. But the fact that y'all bitch and complain when the AEW did the Bash at the Beach shit and are okay with Great American Bash. Oh my god, it's back. Oh my god, it's been 12 years. I can't wait.
And when they used,
Hypocrites.
or when they were talking about blood and guts.
Hypocrites. You're contradicting hypocrites.
Yep.
Little fanboys, go watch NXT next week.
Yep.
It's going to get demolished no matter what. Next 2 weeks, they're going to get demolished no matter what. Anyways. Fyter Fest is about to be lit in 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, it's going to be fantastic.
I'm gonna love it.
Matt Hardy faced Santana up next. And Hardy does get the win over Santana of Proud and Powerful, but afterwards Santana and Ortiz beat up Matt. Of course, Private Party does come out and save him. We got the 6-man tag official for Fyter Fest. Private Party versus Private Party, I believe, isn't it? And there's a match here.
With who?
Was it Private Party with Matt Hardy against SCU, or is it, or not SCU, against Proud and Powerful, or is it going to be just Private Party versus?
I think it's Private Party and Matt Hardy's in their corner against Pride and Powerful.
Yeah. So, sets up that match nicely. It's going to be a good little match there. And interested to see how that goes. But SCU is in a triple threat tag team match against
Stu Grayson,
Dark Order.
That's right.
and
Colt
Cabana,
Brody Lee,
and Stu Grayson. That's right.
Because you bitched about
That Scorpio Sky wasn't in a tag team match because I wanted that. I didn't care that it was Daniels and Kazarian, but what I would love to have is Scorpio Sky and Kazarian versus FTR. Scorpio Sky is going to be. He was, telling me.
If you watch Doc,
singles run. He's in a
if you watched Doc last night, Tuesday night,
now listen,
you would have fucking heard Excalibur explain it.
Then why is the motherfucker in a 6-man tag?
Because they need to build the character.
Stu Grayson doesn't even need him in this match. SCU, Daniels, and Kazarian versus Brody Lee and Colt Cabana. You don't need the third man on either team.
Yeah, but they, like I said, they got a plethora of talent that they got to use.
Don't need it. Don't need that explanation. Anyways, we get to the main event, which is a match. It's a face-off between Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. And Jericho goes on in the beginning about how he didn't understand the character. He wondered what the hell was going through Tony Khan's mind when he did this, but Jericho researched him, found out why he is so over. He's popular, he's entertaining, he's different. Brian Pillman said, you want to get over in this business, you got to be different. Orange Cassidy's different. I didn't like him at first, but he grew on me. I can see why he's over. He's different. This is what I go back to every single time. I mentioned this last week. I mentioned this on Monday on my audio-only podcast that you can listen to on Spotify, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, Apple, and Google, as well as your other podcast listening devices. That, and I'll continue to say this until I die, wrestling has different flavors. I have learned over 24 years that wrestling's going to have different flavors. You can't give the diehard fans 20-minute matches on TV, just strictly matches, very little promos, every week. Ain't going to work. Can't give the casual fans
just promos.
Well, actually, you can't give the diehard fans the promos and entertaining shit every single week. Can't give the casual fans 20 minutes of just in-ring action every single week, or 20-minute matches to fill up the whole 2-hour slot every week. You got to have your plethora of different flavors. Right. I mean, comedy, seriousness, craziness, weirdness. You got to have it all. It's a whole package. And
what that I would say, that doesn't mean you have to have it every single week.
Sure, no.
You can display.
The next 2 weeks will be the in-ring work, telling the stories.
Right. And I agree. You have your different flavors. You have your different likes and dislikes. I think that's the beauty of wrestling. Mm-hmm. Just like the beauty of any entertainment is there is especially in today's world where there's so many different ways that you can get content, there is, I guess I'll use the word again, there is a plethora of content available in different genres. Music, if you like rock music, there's rock. But if you don't like country, you don't have to listen to country. You can listen to what you like and not listen to what you dislike. If you're like me and you like every single type of genre of music, you can download a little bit of everything. Same thing with the wrestling. If you like the ground and pound FTR style tag team wrestling, you can watch that. If you don't like that, well then that might not be your thing and you don't have to enjoy that. If you like the Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, like No Rules, Tornado Tag style of tag wrestling,
the Lucha Libre style,
yeah,
but yeah.
Then that there's enough content out there for that. So I think that's the beauty that AEW has shown is they have a little bit of everything, and that's why I feel like they have the best tag team division, because even within the tag team division, they have subgenres of like nobody really thinks Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela can beat FTR. I don't think in a fight straight up, but there are a group of fans that can relate or love the Joey Janela Sonny Kiss tag team. I'm on the fence. I need a little bit more of in-ring work between the two because they don't have a lot of in-ring chemistry from what I know. But that's what's so cool about wrestling in general is it has its different styles, and so that's kind of why I'm not a big fan of, even though I do wait until 4:00 every Thursday to see the ratings come out between NXT and AEW. There are going to be fans that like NXT style because they still provide a lot of in-ring content, but it's more of an entertainment form than a professional wrestling league, which is what AEW is trying to put out. So there's a little bit of a difference, and I don't care what side of the fence you're on. It's your style. You can do whatever you can like whatever you like, and I'm not going to like force you to like AEW if you don't like AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I don't hate NXT. I think they've got one of the best wrestling in the world too. I will always watch their takeover specials just because I know that they're going to give me very good in-ring action. AEW with pay-per-views usually does the same thing too. So I think that, I mean, you can watch whatever you want to watch, of course. I just think that if you give me a different variety of flavors for a wrestling show, and if I don't like it, I'm going to say, you know what, that wasn't for me, I didn't really care for it. But hey, doesn't mean that I hated the show, it sucked. It just means I didn't like that particular flavor. What other flavors are you going to throw at me? I may like one of them or multiple of them. So yeah, and that's what I like about it, and that's what kind of brings with this Orange Cassidy Chris Jericho thing. A lot of people, don't like or love Orange Cassidy. I think Jericho is universally loved by the wrestling community because he's
the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. He can make every gimmick work. He can make the most inanimate object over.
A potted plant.
A orange cone, construction cone.
A drone.
A drone. Literally, this man can get over anything and everything. But they get into a face-to-face debate. Orange Cassidy was going to talk after Jericho dissed him for a while, and then he put his hands in his pocket. And Jericho said, "If you do your little, slow kicks, shin kicks to me, I'm basically punch your teeth down your throat." Cassidy did it, and then
Jericho punched his teeth
a
down.
brawl basically ensued that went to the outside. Cassidy, I don't know where it happened, but man, he got busted open on his ear. Hopefully they can fix that thing up and he'll be ready to go for Fyter Fest. Thank God that's a night 2, so he's got 2 weeks to heal up for that. But this brawl went all the way to the very back of Daly's place in the stands, and ended with Jericho hitting Cassidy with the camera. And then Cassidy got up, did basically a running Superman punch that Jericho was planted on top of one of the equipment trusses, like rolling things, and Jericho fell through a table. Cassidy stood tall, ended the show, and that's how we ended Dynamite, with Cassidy standing over Chris Jericho with their match in 2 weeks on night 2 of Fyter Fest, which promises to be one of the most entertaining matches of the card. You probably won't love it for the in-ring work, even though Cassidy can do very good things, and so can Jericho. You're going to love it for the entertainment value.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that. I was entertained by Pac and Orange Cassidy at Revolution. I'll be entertained by this too.
Mm-hmm.
Good way to end the show. I gave Dynamite, on the thumb scale, I give it a 1.5. It was up from my 1 1/4 last week. 1.5.
1.5. I'm gonna give it 1 3/4. It wasn't a perfect show, so it's not gonna get 2 stars or 2 thumbs up. But I think it was definitely, they always do really well on their go home shows.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm actually happy that we didn't have like a whole roster brawl in the show like every other take home show AEW does.
Usually, yeah.
So I was happy with that. My question I think I'm left with is how it's gonna be hard, I feel like, with this being a 2-night event, to pump the crowd up for this match if they don't promote it again next week. So I have a feeling that some of the night 2 matches will have some sort of promo in between matches to kind of get the crowd going again. I think Fyter Fest as a 2-night show is such a brilliant idea because it's one of those things where it's not a big pay-per-view, so you don't have to charge for it. I don't think they charged anybody for it last year. I think they just showed it on BR Live last year.
It was free on BR Live last year, yep.
So it's one of those things. I don't think you need a specific night to dedicate to Fyter Fest. And I think that if you dedicate 2 nights of Dynamite for it, 1, I mean, there's a good shot your ratings spike. And 2, you give quality content on free TV without like having to go to a third-party app. I think that's a big thing for this, but you're gonna have to promote your day 2 matches, and I'm kind of happy that they already have the card kind of separated out instead of having all the matches on night 1 and then different matches on night 2. I feel like they have such a deep card that you can run the card they have now on 2 nights like they are, and it'll still be entertaining. 2 weeks of action. I am thinking, though, whoever wins the TNT title match will probably defend it the next week as well. I think that'll probably be the case. I'm thinking, and this is probably maybe wrong of me, but maybe not. I don't know. Night 1, I'm going to give away a spoiler on the prediction show. I think Cody beats Hager. And then night 2.
Save that one. You talking about the world title match or that night 1? That's night 2.
I'm going to talk about the TNT title right now.
Oh, okay.
Night 2, Cody will defend it again against a mystery opponent. And we'll get a former WWE talent. I'll save that for the prediction show. We'll make his debut in AEW on night 2 of Fyter Fest.
Interesting. I'm not going to give away any of my spoilers. I'm going to wait for that for the prediction show. But, I agree that both nights are stacked. Both nights are going to be great. The promotional thing that you mentioned on running the promos for night 2 matches for night 1, so that way people know about it, remember it. Good idea, because this isn't like Wrestle Kingdom or WrestleMania where they're back-to-back nights. They're 1 week apart. So You're going to need to run those ads and promos, I believe, to keep people reminded, oh, wait, that's right. Where's this match at for night 1? Oh, no, wait, it's night 2. It's next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it keeps people intrigued and refreshed to what's going on. It's going to be a good event either way. Like I said, it's on TNT, so people should be having a lot more eyes on this product. It's 2 pay-per-views basically in 2 weeks, so can't beat that. According to a Twitter poll, the old Twitter machine threw it up. Which did you all like more tonight, Dynamite or NXT, or did you not watch any of them? 65% of you said you enjoyed AEW.
Okay.
29% of you said you enjoyed NXT, and 6% said you didn't watch either. So, by quite a bit of a margin, AEW won again this week.
Mm-hmm.
Did you throw up a poll?
I did.
You threw up a poll too.
And it's still up as of this recording for another 15 minutes. 19 minutes. I put, did you enjoy AEW? Because I biasedly follow a wider margin of AEW fans than NXT fans, simply because that's just who I curate my content again for. But I said, did you enjoy AEW, or did you watch #WWE NXT? And then I put in, or neither. As of now, 86% of my vote said they enjoyed AEW, 0% said they watched neither, and 14% said they watched NXT. So my margin is a bit wider than yours.
It's interesting.
That just
overall consensus points towards AEW. So yeah, interesting night of Dynamite. Can't wait for Fyter Fest for the next 2 weeks. Of course, we will continue to do these recap shows. Night 1 will be, of course, next Thursday. You will see that here on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Night 2, of course, will be the following week, also on Thursday afternoon as well. Of course, we'll do a preview, prediction show, probably Monday or Sunday, maybe Tuesday, depends on the scheduling of that. We'll keep you updated. Just follow the social media channels for that. Speaking of social media channels, I believe we got to get to that.
I think we do.
And I believe you hit a milestone this past week.
Oh my goodness, guys!
I believe so.
So we've kind of tailed off the past couple of days, but in the past week, and I talked about this, I think, on Sunday when I posted my last podcast on Anchor. I gained about a third of my total audience, my total followers. I'm up to 333 followers on social media, on Twitter @TheB Podcast. Get me to 400, get me to 500, get me to 1,000. Let's build the following. And I think at the time of recording last week's episode, I was at 220 something. And I started following a lot of accounts and getting follows back. And then people that I weren't even following were following me, which I think that's part of the Twitter algorithm. If somebody starts gaining a lot of followers, then they pop up according to related content. So good amount of people followed me in the past week. Let's keep it going. Let's grow this brand. You can follow, like I said again, the podcast @TheB Podcast. You can follow me on Facebook. I will not talk about that that number. Taking the Bump podcast. Gotta work on the Facebook page. It's a lot harder to grow a following on Facebook nowadays.
I would agree.
Their algorithm is so hard, and it's so pointed towards gaining your friends as followers. It's very hard to
get outside
of your friends group. Absolutely. Yeah. So, like I said, follow the Facebook page, Taking the Bump podcast, and then I don't have my merch on, but if you want to buy my merch, prowrestlingtees.com/TheB podcast. The podcast itself, you can listen to on Anchor or Spotify. I know those two are for certain. Google Podcasts, I know it pops up there as well. We're having a bit of difficulty with Apple. They took down my podcast for no known reason. Anchor doesn't know why it was taken down. So I am in discussions with Apple right now on why they took it down to see if we can get it back up. And I haven't heard anything about it. And the issue with that is, well, one, Apple Podcast was my number one distributor. Like, that's how people listen to it most. And two, every other distribution, so like Pocket Cast and Breaker and some of the other ones, were based on it being on Apple Podcasts because they use the same RSS feed. Well, when it's not on Apple, it's not on the rest of them. So I only have it distributed on 3 platforms so far for the near future. So hopefully we can get that fixed. And yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely got to get my Facebook page back on track for sure too. As you guys know, I did put out an audio only episode this past Tuesday. Probably the most different tone setting and just overall different podcast that I've ever done. Was a solo show, just myself. But I talked about something I felt was on my chest. Just need to get it off and talk about it. So, label Together as One, or I believe that's what it's titled. But yeah, Together as One. That's the name of the latest podcast, the audio only one. But yeah, so every other Monday, I didn't do this past Monday, I had recording issues, but I got that fixed up. So every other Monday, so not this upcoming Monday, but the next after that, there will be a new audio only episode. I'm going to try to do that every other Monday. Of course, every Thursday, you will see these recap shows on our YouTube channel, which you can follow our YouTube channel at Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. Please subscribe to that channel, turn on the notification bell so you know each and every time a new episode is uploaded to our YouTube channel. Please like those videos, man. Share it all over the place. Even if you say this is the crappiest podcast, this is the most wonderful podcast. I need to know. What you guys like. Would you like about Dynamite? Would you like the better show? Would you didn't like it? Feedback is crucial. Do you like BtheC? Who doesn't like BtheC? BtheC's wonderful.
Should we take BtheC down?
No, we shouldn't take BtheC down.
No, don't even mention that.
But, let us know how much you love BtheC over us. I don't care. Facebook, follow us at Beyond the Curtain Podcast. And then Twitter, we are blowing up still. We're at a jet number, 747.
Ooh.
747 followers, guys. Bump that up. We're getting closer to 800. How close can we get to 1,000 before
Fyter Fest?
I ain't gonna be before Fyter Fest. I'll be lucky if we get to 800 before Fyter Fest. That'd be awesome. Can we get to 1,000 followers by maybe the end of July?
Bail out.
There will be a giveaway on that 1,000th follower.
Follower number 1,000.
Maybe. Or I may have a contest to give away something. One of my collection of my personal wrestling collection things. So be on the lookout for that. I'll detail more about that giveaway once we get closer to that 1,000 follower. And that way I'll give you guys a chance to enter in that contest and probably go for a week or so, and then we'll pick a winner and go from there. So a fun little thing to do. But anyways, you can follow us on Twitter at BtheCpod18. And of course, you can follow our audio only things at Anchor, Spotify. I'm on Apple and Google Podcasts. I'm on Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Stitcher. So any one of those podcast listening devices that you guys regularly listen to your audio podcasts on, we are on there. So, not a whole lot of content besides this past Tuesday. There are older episodes, so definitely check that out. But just follow us, man. Follow us. Of course, we're small. We're nothing big. We just like to do this for fun. It's a hobby of ours. We love talking about it. I love talking about wrestling with you guys, with him as well. Need to get our friend Randall from Unhinged Wrestling Podcast back on here. We'll get into that for sure. Get some guests going. You got to get some guests going. That'd be awesome to see more people tuning in. Love your feedback on Twitter with the polls. Got to get some guests in here for either recap shows or special, roundtable discussions about anything. But hopefully we can get that set up. But anyways, guys, I also have a PWT Store, PWT.com/Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. So, follow our Twitters, follow our social handles. Please go to our Pro Wrestling Tee Store if you got any kind of leftover money from anything. If you want to spend it on us, do appreciate that. The offer is always there for 25% of your order will go towards a charity of your choice. So, a lot of great charities, especially during this troubling time. So, please buy some merch and we'll send some money towards a good cause. But Fyter Fest next couple of weeks. It's going to be fun. Going to be entertaining. You guys will be here with us. We'll be here again. Same time, same channel. Same two probably. Talking about Fyter Fest, which is always fun. Same three. Forgot BtheC. Sorry,
BtheC.
But yeah. So appreciate, of course, as always, with my guests joining me every week. And I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and still getting through this crazy time in our world. But we'll get through it together.
Yes, sir.
Until next week, guys, I am Cody. That's our boy James, Jimmy Jam, Beatley over there. We will see you guys again next week on Beyond the Curtain Wrestling Podcast. Take care, guys.